Welcome back to the Create Harmony podcast. Let me tell you what you're going to find here. In this space, we settle into an intentional rhythm, and it's one that helps us savor life's blessings and ground ourselves in gratitude. And today, we get to expand that space a little wider. I'm going to be joined by a guest whose work and presence reflect much of what we value here at Create Harmony: connection, intention, and a deep respect for the rhythms that shape our lives. So wherever you are, settle in, take a breath, and join us for this conversation. All right, welcome back to the Create Harmony podcast. I am Sally Burlington, and today we have a really special guest, and her name is Christie Johnson, and she is the founder and owner of Purpose Boutique, and we're going to get to all about what that's about in just a moment. But welcome, Christie. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
One of the things that we talk about a lot here at Create Harmony is mental wellness. And what we mean when we say mental wellness is it's distinct from mental health. It's more about tending to the habits that you do to tend to yourself so that you can stay mentally well. And those include self-care, focusing on connecting with your community, and grounding yourself in gratitude. And Christie runs a business that has a different format and model than most businesses, and they connect to all three of those things. I think we're going to let her tell you first of all, what is Purpose Boutique?
Okay, so Purpose is, it's a retail company, and it's 13 years old, so it's actually grown in what it is today versus how it started. But it's a retail company, and we believe how you shop can change a life, and we take this idea of how you shop can change a life and use it in every single part of our business. So specifically how we do that in our business model is every person that walks in our doors, when they make a purchase with us, a percentage of that goes directly to fight human trafficking and to support foster children through preventative care and also supporting foster families. So two amazing organizations we work with that do that work. And the other part of changing lives is when any woman comes into our stores, and this is really one of the main reasons I started the business, is when women go to shop, it can be one of the most vulnerable just moments for her. And what you wear and how you dress yourself is so connected to like how you feel on the inside and kind of what you're going through. And so when a woman walks into our store, we really want to meet her as an immediate friend. Like, we want to be a friend that's there to say, hey, let's walk you through your style journey. We're going to serve you in a way that's going to make you feel really beautiful and empowered in what you're wearing. But we're also going to walk you through maybe some of your insecurities and really be there to change your life through the experience. So I have this, a little bit of the analogy is like what you put on your body is just a mirror of kind of how you're clothed on the inside. And so we kind of want to say, okay, what are you wearing? And we want you wearing confidence. And then on the outside, we're putting you in clothing that also makes you feel confident. So it's a very relational business model.
Okay, I'm going to give a little spoiler alert that Christie happens to be my cousin and we are related. And I have experienced Purpose myself because my daughter and I went out to where they are on the West Coast. And I mean, it was such a great experience. Like, I'm a middle-aged woman. I do not love just shopping in the store. And maybe my trend is, like a lot of people now, to order something online that probably isn't right and then try it on in my closet and, again, not right, send it back 14 times. But when I was at Purpose, I really felt like their team was surrounding me and cheering for me and helping me figure out like what might fit and what might look good. And it wasn't the kind of experience that you feel like some fashionista is going to style you. It was really about caring for myself and knowing what would work well for me. I really love that. So I'd love you to say more about how you get your team to lean in that direction.
Absolutely. So, well, we have some values that we identified in the beginning of the company that are really important for everyone. Everyone on our team has to have these values. And so we hire through them, we train through them, and we're able to style through them. So the first one is humility. It's being really humble, being somebody that you view others as greater than yourself. You are able to take feedback really well. You're always able to grow and learn. And that's huge in styling because if you're the cool girl, you're the cool trendy girl and someone walks in, that could feel really intimidating. And you can still be very trendy and styled really well, but immediately be so humble and curious about the person walking in that you endear them to you quickly. It's disarming. That's the goal, disarming. And then being positive and being playful. Like one of our values is you have to be playful and you have to be fun. So you have to joke and all of that. So we're able to there's 7 total values, but those are probably the ones being energetic, all of that are basically the idea of you need to have woo. You need to be able to win others over and make other people feel really special. Like that's the job and the goal. So we train through that. We spend a lot of time interviewing to make sure that our stylists have those qualities already so that when they're styling, they're immediately able to connect to the customer and build that relationship.
Yes, I think that's what's special and unique about your business versus any other boutique that might be out there that's just trying to sell pretty things. And what you're trying to do
Right.
is power and make people feel good about what they walk out of the store with. I think that's amazing. I love that. And so I know that you have not just the regular, there are how many Purpose Boutique locations, first of all? We'll start with that.
There's 8 stores total right now.
Okay. And then some of them, I think, have a little bit of a special focus that's different from just middle-aged woman. And so tell me more about that.
Okay, so we have Purpose, and then I have Purpose Men, which is really fun. It's a store all for the men, and it's the same concept. If you think that women are the only ones that need this type of service, and also someone walking them through their style journey, men are the exact same. It's been so interesting to see, switching from styling women to men, how similar it is. People, everyone needs to feel seen, taken care of, and supported, and then even encouraged. Like even the men are coming out in their clothes, and they want their wives to love it, and they want their significant others, or they just want to feel good and look good just like women do. So it's been really interesting to see. I thought maybe styling men would be a little different, might want to change it up, but it's the same exact system.
They want exactly like we want to feel good in the look that we have. So I love that you've got that. And then there is another brand.
There's another brand, it's called Sincere by Purpose, and that's just we call it Purpose's big sister, but it's really like if you're a shopper that wants a premium denim and a little more of an elevated product, you would like to shop at Sincere. What we've found now that we have Sincere, though, is that our customers, they like to shop Purpose, they like to shop Men's, and they like to shop Sincere. So we kind of just opened up, another store with a little bit of different product that our existing customers also love. So it's been really fun to grow that brand over the last couple of years.
Well, and I'm sure that I haven't been to Sincere. And I did peep into Purpose Men when we were visiting, but I haven't been to Sincere. But I'm sure it has the same feeling of connection and community that you've created in your other boutiques. And that is very compelling. That's what everybody's looking for. So I love that about it. I love it. Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit more about how you have done all of this because it's quite the endeavor, particularly, as I said, in an age when much of what's happening in the marketplace is online. And you do offer online we can order things online from, but a lot of what you offer is more of a relational thing. And as a business owner, how do you feel like you are doing taking care of yourself and building a brand and all of the things?
Okay, this is a great question. I started Purpose with this really strong desire to, um, it was very faith driven. Like I wanted to do something that I knew would make a difference in the world. So this give back piece, this speaking life over every customer, like really having a business that makes a positive impact in the world and also customer like face to face. I wanted that. And I also then on the other side had this just really huge desire and love for shopping and fashion. Like I was like, this is just what I love to do. So purpose actually came from God giving me this beautiful vision of taking the two and putting them together. It was like I was able to reconcile the world of fashion and shopping and style and then put it with this bigger purpose of life of what matters for my soul. Putting those together was purpose. So I felt very strongly that God had gave me a very strong impression of like, this is from me. This is a gift. This belongs to me. You're going to steward this and grow this, but it's going to be bigger. I really felt I heard him say it's going to be bigger than anything you could think or imagine. So I remember just Ephesians 3:20, that verse just being ingrained in my brain from the beginning of purpose on. And then also a promise of I would never do it alone. So it would always be a community thing. So I started it with friends, have grown the team. The team grows, the team helps me grow purpose. So it's just this beautiful, like when you talk about your community where you're like, yours, you know, mental health is all about community.
Mm.
Like if I had done this alone, it wouldn't be where it is today. Like all the people that have come along have helped grow it. So over the past 13 years, we've just leaned into the core of why we exist, our values and our the values of who we are and then why we're doing it and our big mission. We hold on to that and we honestly bring that up in every meeting. Like that's our core. But from there, we've been able to grow in process and systems and team and leadership and all the things that it takes to grow and build a business. And I believe one of the reasons we're so successful, especially in a world where everything is online, AI is coming up. One thing you can't outsource is face to face and human interaction. And I online, we have an online store. I tell my marketing team all the time, I go, I don't want your time and energy on online. Online is great for most businesses. It's a revenue builder. For us, it's just not why we do what we do. So for sure, online can be there to support our existing customers if they need to get things online, but we want to drive the traffic to our stores. We want the face to face. And I think that's allowed us to be so successful. And that customer service piece. I mean, I don't know if you've been to a retailer where you get a customized, personal, friendly, like, fun shopping experience. I haven't received it in any other retailer. And so I go, this is our competitive edge. It's customer service, it's relationship. And that relationship piece is why I'm never nervous about online. I'm never nervous about, different AI pieces that will come into the fashion world because we're selling something so different.
Yes, for sure. And one of the things I noticed when I was in the store is that you all seem to really like each other. I mean, you seem to have a good time together. You like each other. It's a fun place to work. It has a different spirit than any other place. And I think that it's a very collaborative environment, which I think really promotes community. And I mean, that is a version of self-care. Letting others be part of your experience and building your brand is a great version of self-care. So I love that about it. Um, okay, I want to hear about the things that you do for yourself as you are a leader. How do you find self-care in your world to take care of you?
That is such a great question. It's one of the things that I've probably been the worst at. But my body and my brain and all of the things that building a business will take a toll on you, especially building it from scratch and growing it to where we've grown it in 13 years. My go, my perfectionism, my drive to make things better, all of that really caught up to me. And a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, we opened two stores on the same day. And so I'd never done that before. We had 2 store launches, and these stores launched, and I was so excited, a lot of adrenaline. We worked really hard to get them opened, and then I went home, and then 2 days later, as I was driving back to the stores, I had a massive panic attack. But I didn't know it was a panic attack because 'cause I'd never had one, and, I actually was like, "Oh, I'm dying." Like, I had a I
Which is what everyone who has a panic attack thinks.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So I called my husband and I was like, "You need to call an ambulance. I think I'm dying. So, someone needs to
Oh,
come." 'Cause
okay.
I'm driving. So I pull over on the side of the road and then, because 'cause I'm tingling, all the things, and then my face was paralyzed. I mean, I had a massive panic attack and, shaking, all of that. So that led me to going, "Whoa, what's going on with my body?" And so I went to a functional health doctor and really got my blood work done, all of that. And I just have been operating in fight or flight for my whole life, just operating on adrenaline. My body never learned how to rest. So I'm in a season now where I'm leaning into um, genuine rest and what that looks like and protecting my mind because it was like my body betrayed me before I even knew why. Like I didn't understand why that happened. I'm not somebody that's anxious. I don't have an anxious personality. So I never thought I had anxiety. It just showed up. It shows up for me physically. And so now I go, uh-oh, when I'm physically feeling like a panic or something, I go, okay, something's going on with my mind. So that looks like for me, I can take long walks in the woods. Like we have wooded areas. Um, Breathing, it really is also getting together with my friends for just dinner and like relaxing. I try really hard to turn off my brain. I'm still working on that. But even just now I get a massage once a week now. I can't believe I go once a week for a massage. I also wear this is probably too much for your podcast, but I wear a pulse. There's a vagus nerve stimulator that I will wear, that it pulses on your neck, stimulates your vagus nerve, which then activates your parasympathetic nerve, and then it actually calms me down physically. So
I love that.
it's a
I need to
really
know more about that.
it's a super helpful tool. I have a functional doctor that was like, "You need to get this." Because she's like, "Your blood work is so bad. You've been operating in overdrive for so long, that you need therapy." So you need therapy and you need this pulsetto device that will do this. So she's given me some shortcuts, and I think it really all of those pieces all together work well. Sunlight in my eyes in the morning. That's a big one. It's hard in the Pacific Northwest because we only have the sun in the summer. So just sunlight, walking, all of those pieces, I have to do them. I don't have an option to not, or I won't function. So that's what self-care looks like for me. It's essential, or I won't function.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that you said it that way because I think sometimes we think that people who are super successful, like yourself, don't need those things as much as the rest of us. And I think it's good for you to give voice to that. I've said lots and lots of times over the history of this podcast that years ago I wanted peace, more peace in my life. I wanted things to be more calm, and then when I say things, I mean my own brain. I wanted that to be more calm, but then if you looked at my calendar or my to-do list, there was nothing on there that was going to point me in that direction. That all the things on there were about my job and my children and my household and doing. It was about doing. And it took I just one day had this epiphany, like, if you want that, why are you not putting any practices in place that are going to point you in that direction? And I think that that's what I hear you saying is that I realized my body gave me a big, big hint through,
Big
through a
hint.
panic attack
Mhm.
that I needed to put some of those practices in place for me.
Absolutely. And I will get dysregulated. I mean, the funny thing about this conversation is I just went through a dysregulation period, which for me means I start to get a little panicky without realizing what's happening. I'll
Mhm.
get in my car and then all of a sudden my heart will start racing and I'll go, "Oh no. Uh-oh, you're not regulated." Um that will make me say, "Okay, mentally, you need to you remove this meeting, um, get off of this board, or like whatever is happening in my brain, because I will pile it on and not even realize, or I'll get too involved in a project at work that someone else should own. And I go, you're doing over responsibility. Let it go. So,
Yes, yes. I feel that, and I think it's the irony of what I do is that I'm often in conversations about how to promote peace, like this one, and how to promote self-care, and I still do that. I still find myself, escalating and, "Oh my gosh, and we could do this, and then we could do that, and then we could do this, and then we could do
yeah.
that." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's real peaceful," like, take a breath. So, I think that's just the human condition, or maybe it's just our culture, I'm not sure, but I love hearing you say that you check in with yourself and you remember, "Okay, you're off base just a little, and let's make an adjustment. Let's make an adjustment." I know that you mentioned earlier some that rest was a little bit of a work in progress.
Yes.
That work is something that you're really, really good at, and rest is something that you're learning about. So I'd love to hear you say more about that.
I would say this is something that really helped me with my doctor. She was like, "Okay, you have to rest, and you're gonna have to schedule it." And she said, "And here's something to remember: it's gonna feel wrong. It's gonna feel bad, like, because you're so wired to not do that." But here's the funniest thing about me. I will get to the point where I've overworked myself so much that then I'll have overworked my brain so much that then I don't know how to shut it off. I don't know how to rest. But then what happens is I get to a point where then any little thing coming at me I can't handle. So I almost become paralyzed, which is the
Mm,
opposite of what your goal is, right? You're like, "My goal is to be more productive
yeah.
with all this stuff." I'll get to the, um, I'll paralysis almost where I'm like, "I don't even know what to do next." And so this rest piece for me is once I've realized, and even biblically, like the Sabbath, right? We don't hold to a Sabbath the way they did in the Old
Yes.
Testament, but the Sabbath is a gift. So if I remind myself, no, God is giving this as a gift, and then also it's a command. Like our culture doesn't do, we don't look at the, these things this way. But if I look at it as, no, no, God is commanding rest, then I take it and it feels wrong and it feels so awkward. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I take it, I come out of it more productive. And I go, it's a gift.
And I know that you also talked a little bit, or you mentioned briefly that you, had maybe incorporated therapy into your healing processes, and like I said at the beginning, we do make a distinction between mental health and mental wellness, but we are all about using the tools of mental health, and I think that there is such a stigma, so we try to elevate that conversation whenever we can. So I don't know if you want to share anything. Certainly, you don't need to share the deep details of your therapy, but if you want to just share what you think about, how that's working for you, that'd be great.
I will say I don't know what people think. I mean, my whole mindset around some therapy, I think there's probably really bad therapy out there and there's really good therapy. And just think I had this mindset over years where I would hear of people going to therapy and then they came out of it like blaming everyone else for their problems. Or, it's just I was like, okay, that's really unhelpful therapy. Like if someone comes out a victim of their therapy, so I kind of had this talk therapy. I was averse to it. I was like, I'm not interested in that. I don't want something that's all about me. I think that's unhealthy. I think things should not be all about you in your world. But I was convinced to doing a type of therapy through a Christian. I have a Christian therapist and they do internal family systems. And she's like, I want you to practice this EMDR. I want to walk you through this um, type of therapy because there's some trauma that I have I have some complex traumas over my childhood and, into high school that are really affecting how I show up today.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people have that. But so going and doing that therapy, I think I don't know for sure how it works, but I really feel like it works and there's a lot of evidence around it. And so going into those sessions and doing that, it feels so awkward. It feels really vulnerable. And it's hard, but I came out of it, feeling like I did a really long session. I felt like I had I was on an emotional roller coaster, and then when I was done, I felt light, and then I felt kind of vulnerable,
Mm.
and I went that evening. They say don't do anything after you do a session like this, like, take it light, but my son had a band concert in our school. They did an art show and a band concert, and I'm not a very emotional person. I think also because I run a business, I run more logically as I get older, and I walked into this art show, and this is kids doing art, like, middle schoolers
Mhm.
and high schoolers doing art. I'm looking at their art and I just start crying. It's like
Look at that beautiful
I go,
drawing.
"This is so beautiful." And then I went to the band concert and I listened to the middle school band and the high school band, and they're playing just, cute little songs, and I just am sitting there crying, and I go, "Well, I don't know what happened to me today, but at least I'm in touch with
I'm
my
getting it out. That's
emotions."
good. That's good. I love
Yeah, or just feeling more, just that I'm excited for this. I'm gonna continue in this therapy, but, I feel lighter, I feel less this might be too much, but I'm the type of person when I'm dysregulated, I'll walk into a room, and if it's messy, I can't function.
Mm,
I feel like I'm being attacked.
okay. Yeah, I think that's very relatable. I think, I mean, you need order in order to function.
Right, but why, right? So, like, me unpacking some of that is helping me be able to see disorder, and it doesn't feel like an
Mm,
attack. Doesn't feel like a bear's attacking me.
yeah.
So, I think the connection the connection, I'm noticing that I'm more aware and I'm able to tolerate more,
Mm.
and I think that's the goal. So,
Yes, for sure. Yes. Well, I feel like that when it's very, very loud. I feel like I'm being attacked. It's the sound that is overstimulating for me. So, I have to be aware if I go to like large concerts or sporting events or whatever. I'm learning to use earplugs because it's just too overwhelming for me. So I get it. Totally get it. Okay, I want to ask this question. I want to know, as you are conceptualizing where you're going from here with purpose, I would love to see what's next. What's next for you?
what's next? I do want to grow. I want to continue growing my business. We're going to open another store this year. I had a I had a kind of a 5-year growth plan, but I really have to pray about it because I don't want to outgrow what what we can sustain, and even for my mental well-being. And so what I will do is I'll build out rough plans. So launching more stores for us. And at this point, growth, I always tell the team, I go, I promise you, we're going to grow and you're going to have opportunities to grow. I can't give you the exact picture of what it looks like. So it's
Mm,
still very there's still some faith-led pieces of my business, but also strategically and operationally as well. But I hold them both together. So we're opening a new store this year in a couple months, and we're only going to do one this year. And then next year, one this year. Next year, we have one we're planning on opening next year as well. And so opening stores in this area is kind of the focus right now. I'm not sure if we'll go out of state, but you know this. I'm from North Carolina. Like, I'm a
mhm.
transplant out here, but we keep opening stores out here, and we're getting stuck. 'Cause
Yes, I hear you. Maybe you'll bring one a little closer to us here in North
oh,
Carolina.
it
That'd
would
be
be so fun. Both Flip and I are all of our family, everyone's in the Carolinas. And so I sometimes think, okay, what does it look like to maybe start um, building opening these stores in another state and kind of growing it that way. So that's purpose. But the idea of donating the money, we're over 550,000 that we've been able to donate to our um, nonprofits, and growing that is that's one of my big drivers. And also my team. We have 55 employees. I have several that have been with me almost from the beginning. So,
Wow.
someone that's been there for 13 years, 11 years, 10. So, and they've helped grow this thing and they want to grow, right? So a lot of my heart and desire for a purpose to grow is so that they can grow. So yeah, I don't have the exact picture, but I can promise it will grow.
I love that. And I love the way what I heard when you were talking was not only that it's going to grow, but that you are learning about pacing. And I think that that's one of the things that as a culture, we're not always as good at, that we can still grow things and we can still expand, but we need to pace ourselves so that we can protect our own self-care and our own sense of community and our own gratitude, all of the things. And I love that's what I heard in what you said.
Yes, absolutely.
So I like that.
I don't want another panic attack after, 2 launches in one day. So we're going to slow it
Yes.
down a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well, it's a learning curve. We're all learning things. So I love that. Well, I love all of this stuff. This has been amazing, an amazing conversation about how it's a great model for a business to really elevate all of the things that we're all about at Create Harmony. And we appreciate you taking the time to share that and to be so honest about your own struggles. We just appreciate you participating in that conversation. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me and letting me share all of that.
That's right. Well, we look forward to maybe we'll have another check-in in another year and we can see where it goes from here. When you get ready to do your North Carolina things, we can have another check-in.
Oh, yes. That would be so fun. Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed our conversation today. At Create Harmony, we're all about finding ways to soothe our souls and calm our bodies. And on that note, I want to remind you about a resource we have available that I don't want you to miss. It's our Peaceful Pathways box. It's a gift and an experience all rolled into one. So here's what I mean. Each season, we create a box that's filled with self-care items and meditation resources. But before you say, I can't meditate, let me explain a little more. In each box, you get a card, and it has a link with a series of guided meditations that are themed for the season. So when you go to the link, you click on that, and then there's a place for you to orient yourself to the experience. And we give very clear explanations. We tell you exactly how it works and how you can weave this into your rhythm and have more peace in your daily lives. All the meditations are less than 10 minutes long, so you can tuck that into almost any busy day. And let me paint the picture for you a little bit more. All you have to do is click on it, and then you settle in and listen for a few minutes. My voice is going to be your guide, and I'll provide just enough description that'll hold your attention, but I will not dominate your mind. So you'll just be listening along, and you'll conjure up images based on what my voice suggests, and you can see beautiful pictures, and you'll feel carried away to a peaceful place while you listen, and you'll finish up the experience relaxed and restored. Then also in the box are mental wellness and self-care goodies provided by Petal and Pink Mental Wellness Boutique, and this is intended to reinforce your experience. So for example, in our winter box, we talked a lot about snuggling up in a cozy nook, and in the box was a neat little hand warming mug and then a candle making kit. So you could take that mug, you could create a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, snuggle in your nook, you could make the candle, put the candle right beside you, and the whole experience becomes more robust. You've got peace with using your senses. You smell the candle and sip the tea, and you're listening. So that's like multi-sensory experience right there. And I want you to understand how powerful and pleasant that experience can be. So picture yourself. Your week has been extra busy and extra full, and everybody in your life seems to need something from you, and they need it right away. You feel tired, and at the same time, you feel just a little agitated and can't quite figure out how to decompress. And if you had these meditations and these self-care items, you'd have all the resources you need to care for yourself well. To get more information about this pathway to peace, go to our website, mycreateharmony.com. And until next time, peace.